what are boxes used for? When you think of a box, show hands. Don't contain stuff, put stuff in. Exactly. Boxes contain. So with that, what is your box? Are you in the box or are you not? So I encourage you all throughout this meeting to do a little self-reflection, to begin to reflect on yourself. But don't take your focus away. We have a good slate of speakers coming up. I'm trying to clip on my badge here to my trusty box. We got a good slate of speakers coming up, so don't reflect too hard. But I do want you to begin to reflect when you go home. And for that reflection to be a bit deeper about what is your box than what the heck is Dennis doing up here talking out of a box in front of me, right? I want that to go a little deeper. And I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey to maybe promote that. Yes, you guessed it. The box is to physically illustrate the mental boxes that we're all walking around with every day and are contained within. Why do you think the phrase is think outside the box, right? Because we're all in a box. So this is just to illustrate to you all the boxes that you're in. I wanted to elucidate here, what might some of the aforementioned mental boxes be, right? Now there could be a slew of them, so I'll just keep it brief here. What about self-doubt? Self-doubt can keep us in a box, that I can't mentality. It's too hard, right? What about imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is where you're so far trapped in the box that you don't even believe the box you're trapped in is actually yours. Imagine that. Here I am, and at least I know that this is my box. But I propose that the boxes can be defined by different things. So if we can pivot from looking inward to a more external, what about a geographic box? Now, this might be a trivial example, but bear with me. You live in the middle of nowhere. You just moved there, so you don't have a network of friends. Uber doesn't work. You have no mode of transportation. There's nothing to walk to from your house, and your car breaks down. You're trapped in a geographic box, right? Now, that box could be of your own making. Maybe you bought a 2002 Dodge Neon that's just a beater, or maybe you just got bad luck and you bought a lemon. But these boxes can also change over time, right? The box can change size. Maybe you've been trapped in a box for years and you forget because the walls of the box are so far away, you can't even see them. But what about the box that comes down in on you, crumples you, paralyzes you, and you can't even move, let alone begin to think to try and get outside the box? This last example showed us that these boxes can be defined by different things, not just the mental state, but potentially geography. Now, you can also have different boxes throughout your life, right? So maybe the example that I'll give is I was in 10 years of higher education, and just as I thought that the school box was coming off, woohoo, we are out of the school box. Corporate America, baby. Welcome back to the box. What is more of a box than working in corporate America, So there have been things that I've done to try and get out of that box. I actually had planned in this middle bit here to talk about boxes, whether they're internally made only or externally made. And you touched upon it right at the end there. Let's get really meta. Society makes these external boxes for us, no matter who we are, where we are, how we want to live. But being meta doesn't always help us, right? Let's go down to the individual level. Let's see what action. Meta, like very, very high, like very high in the clouds, high level. High level maybe. So we come down to the individual level, right? What about a yes person? Do you think that yes person is giving away their agency by saying yes all the time? To continue this box metaphor, what about that yes person, by saying yes, is giving them the material is giving them the tape, giving them the scissors. Somebody else is going to make that box for them if they keep saying yes. Because, as Toastmaster Curtis said, 90% of your problems are you. 90% of the solutions are you. So don't give away the ability to make the box to somebody else. We already have boxes of our own making that we need to deal with. Now we don't need to worry about other people's boxes. For the benefit of our guests, yes, as a public speaking / leadership club, we have somebody every week that listens to our pet words, the common ones being like, so, these types of things. But if you have a pet word that we come to know that is unique to you, Anthony's awesome all the time, and we can, kind of key in on that. I just said, right there. So all about improvement here. I want to leave you all with this. I also want to get out of this box. We can all unshackle from our boxes. We've been talking about a lot of how we make boxes, but we can all unshackle from them. And if you start to think outside the box, maybe, just maybe, you can live outside the box as well. Now, we're all different, and I want to leave action items here. What can we take away? But we're all different, right? So those action items are going to look different for each of us. Our boxes are different, how big they are, how many we might have, where they're placed. Just to give a little bit of brain lubricant, wanted to share some anecdotes for me, what I do. One thing is I shake up my daily routine, even if it's as trivial as switching coffee for tea in the morning. Maybe coffee's putting me in a box. You don't know until you try. The second is something that I try and practice new hobbies or new skills. Keep your mind sharp, keep something different. Like I planted a garden. I'm 30 years old, I never did that. But now I can think outside the box. I don't need to go to the grocery store to get an onion. I can go right to my garden. If I want to put cucumbers on my sandwich for lunch, pick one, slice it up. Absolutely delicious. Now this one's been big for me recently. Going back to my roots to find where I might live outside the box. Where did I come from? Did I always live in a box? Was it the same one? The roots meaning my childhood. What do you do today that you also found joy in as a child? Maybe it's playing games, like Toastmaster Brian. He always changes it up. I don't think he's in a game box at all. Now, what about me? Something that I remember doing as a kid is taking my bike out with my friends, going to the nature preserve right behind my house and spending the entire day just making campfires, making tents with sticks and hanging out. What do I do as an adult when corporate America puts me in this box? I go camping. I unplug. I disconnect. I go back to my roots. So look at your roots. But how can you validate that these actions or that you're going to take are actually removing the box? Well, I propose to look for the moments of clarity, to look for the moments where there's a weight that's lifted off your shoulders that the box might have been that weight. Is it those moments of clarity that are fleeting? Sure, but that's because we're all busy and life is really busy, but you have to keep your mind open. Those moments of clarity, when you can look around, see what life's all about. What have you been missing? If you've been missing something, what has your box been? But in order to capture those very fleeting moments of clarity, you have to keep your mind open. And maybe the box will be open too. Now that's my time, but I did want this to be an interactive experience. So if you would like, after the meeting, after the awards, write down what's on your box. What is your box? Doesn't have to be the super secret one. It could be any other box. And tape it to the box that I just spent this whole meeting in. And you put yourself in it. Take a picture. So when you do your reflection, you'll remember that the box isn't mental. The box is physical because the box is physically stopping you from achieving your goals.